Son is perfect, Father, your Son is perfect. When I think that I am hurt in any way, it is because I have forgotten who I am, and that I am as you created me, as you created me. Your thoughts can only bring me happiness, bring me happiness. If ever I am sad or hurt or ill, I have forgotten what you think, and put my little meaningless ideas in place of where your thoughts belong, where your thoughts belong, and where they are, and where they are. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. The thoughts I think with you can only bless, can only bless. The thoughts I think with you alone are true, oh, alone are true. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. My Father placed me safe in heaven, watching over me. My Father placed me safe in heaven, watching over me. And I would not attack the Son he loves. I would not attack the Son he loves. For what he loves is also mine to love. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Whoa. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here today in studying Lesson 281 in A Course in Miracles. I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, and we're ready for, it's Lesson 281. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. And it's a new section. What is the Holy Spirit is the associated reading for the next 10 days. So let's read that. What is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit mediates between illusions and the truth, since he must bridge the gap between reality and dreams. Perception leads to knowledge through the grace that God has given him to be his gift to everyone who turns to him for truth. Across the bridge that he provides are dreams all carried to the truth, to be dispelled before the light of knowledge. There are sights and sounds forever laid aside, and where they were perceived before, forgiveness has made possible perception's tranquil end. The goal the Holy Spirit's teaching sets is just this end of dreams, for sights and sounds must be translated from the witnesses of fear to those of love. And when this is entirely accomplished, learning has achieved the only goal it has in truth. For learning as the Holy Spirit guides it to the outcome he perceives for it, becomes the means to go beyond itself, to be replaced by the eternal truth. If you but knew how much your Father yearns to have you recognize your sinlessness, you would not let his voice appeal in vain, nor turn away from his replacement for the fearful images and dreams you made. The Holy Spirit understands the means you made, by which you would attain what is forever unattainable. And if you offer them to him, he will employ the means you made for exile to restore your mind to where it truly is at home. For knowledge, where he has been placed by God, from knowledge, where he has been placed by God, the Holy Spirit calls to you to let forgiveness rest upon your dreams and be restored to sanity and peace of mind. Without forgiveness will your dreams remain to terrify you, and the memory of all your Father's love will not return to signify the end of dreams has come. Accept your Father's gift. It is a call from love to love, that it be but itself. The Holy Spirit is his gift by which the quietness of heaven is restored to God's beloved Son. Would you refuse to take the function of completing God when all he wills is that you be complete? Creation's freedom. That was yesterday, day before yesterday. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Let's look at it again. The prayer says, Father, your Son is perfect. When I think that I am hurt in any way, it is because I have forgotten who I am and that I am as you created me. Your thoughts can only bring me happiness. If ever I am sad or hurt or ill, I have forgotten what you think and put my little meaningless ideas in place of where your thoughts belong and where they are. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. The thoughts I think with you can only bless. The thoughts I think with you alone are true. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Oh, the power of our imagination and our thinking. I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. My Father placed me safe in heaven, watching over me, and I would not attack the Son he loves, for what he loves is also mine to love. You're not going to find your freedom by attacking your brothers and sisters, or even yourself. Practice forgiveness. Keep looking for the happiness that God intended for you as he created you. Okay, I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Well, let's go back and take a look at our text reading for today. It's a little longer section, so let's just get through about half of it today. It's in chapter 31. Boy, we're going to get into some, maybe he's kind of summing up everything he's been telling us for the last 30 chapters. But I get a lot out of this part here. The whole chapter 31 is just filled with inspiration for me. The final vision is chapter 31. Section 1, the simplicity of salvation. How simple is salvation? All it says is what was never true, is not true now, and never will be. The impossible has not occurred and can have no effects. And that is all. Can this be hard to learn by anyone who wants to learn? For anyone who wants it to be true? All that the impossible has not occurred and can have no effects, and that is all. Can this be hard to learn by anyone who wants it to be true? Only unwillingness to learn it could make such an easy lesson difficult. How hard it is to see that what is false cannot be true, and what is true cannot be false. You can no longer say that you perceive no differences in false and true. You have been told exactly how to tell one from the other, and just what to do if you become confused. Why then do you persist in learning such simple things? Okay, now what is it when he says you can no longer say that you perceive no differences in false and true? Remember what he's been trying to get us to recognize is that our observation of our peace of mind is what allows us to know if we're on the path to heaven, if we're seeing what's true, or if we're holding a judgment. So when he says you can no longer say that you perceive no differences in false and true, you know that what's true is true because you feel at peace and you're joyful, and you know that what you're thinking is true. Your thoughts are hurting you when you're looking at an idol, when you're feeling a lack of peace. Okay? So you can no longer say that you perceive no differences in false and true. You've been told exactly how to tell one from the other and just what to do if you become confused. Stop, be still and quiet. Ask for help. That's what we've been told to do. Why then do you persist in learning not such simple things? Paragraph 2. There is a reason, but confuse it not with difficulty in the simple things salvation asks you learn. It teaches but the very obvious. It merely goes from one apparent lesson to the next, in easy steps that lead you gently from one to another, with no strain at all. This cannot be confusing, yet you are confused. For somehow you believe that what is totally confused is easier to learn and understand. What you have taught yourself is such a giant learning feat, it is indeed incredible. But you accomplished it because you wanted to, and did not pause in diligence to judge it hard to learn or too complex to grasp. The ways of the world, all the causes and effects that you thought were real, that to protect yourself you had to push someone away, and all those ideas. He's saying that was an amazing learning feat. No one who understands what you have learned, how carefully you learned it, and the pains to which you went to practice and repeat the lessons endlessly, in every form you could conceive of them, could ever doubt the power of your learning skill. There is no greater power in the world. The world was made by it, and even now depends on nothing else. The lessons you have taught yourself have been so overlearned and fixed that they rise like heavy curtains to obscure the simple and the obvious. Say not you cannot learn them, for your power to learn is strong enough to teach you that your will is not your own. Your thoughts do not belong to you, and even you are someone else. Paragraph 4. Who could maintain that lessons such as these are easy? Yet you have learned more than this. You have continued taking every step, however difficult, without complaint, until a world was built that suited you, and every lesson that makes up the world arises from the first accomplishment of learning, an enormity so great the Holy Spirit's voice seems small and still before its magnitude. The world began with one strange lesson, powerful enough to render God forgotten, and His Son an alien to Himself, in exile from the home where God Himself established Him. You who have taught yourself the Son of God is guilty, say not that you cannot learn the simple things salvation teaches you. So it was a big learning lesson to that first choice, that you're separate from God, and that your brother has done something wrong, that you are in conflict with God. You forgot God in that one thought, and the whole world arose, the world of attack and pain and death and sickness. And it kind of drowns out the voice of the Holy Spirit. But if we stop and retrace our steps and go, well, now hold it just a minute. Maybe things aren't as sure as I thought they were. Maybe I can just be still and quiet and let peace guide me. Maybe there's no sin. Maybe I can be free of sin. Maybe I can remember God. Maybe I can remember love. Paragraph 5. Learning is an ability you made and gave yourself. It was not made to do the will of God, but to uphold a wish that it could be opposed, and that a will apart from it was yet more real than it. And this has learning sought to demonstrate. And you have learned that it was made to teach. And you have learned what it was made to teach. Now does your ancient overlearning stand implacable before the voice of truth, and teach you that its lessons are not true, too hard to learn, too difficult to see, and too opposed to what is really true. Yet you will learn them, for their learning is the only purpose for your learning skill the Holy Spirit sees in all the world. His simple lessons in forgiveness have a power mightier than yours, because they call from God and from yourself to you. I wanted to look at our time. Let's go back and read paragraph 5 again. Learning is an ability you made and gave yourself. It was not made to do the will of God, but to uphold a wish that it could be opposed. The will of God could be opposed is why you wanted to learn things. And that is a will apart from it was yet more real than it. Okay, let's read that again. It was not made to do the will of God, your learning abilities, but to uphold a wish that it could be opposed, God's will could be opposed, and that a will apart from it was yet more real than it. There was a will apart from God's will, your one will with God. And this has learning sought to demonstrate, and you have learned what it was made to teach. Now does your ancient overlearning stand implacable before the voice of truth, and teach you that its lessons are not true, too hard to learn, too difficult to see, and too opposed to what is really true. Yet you will learn them, for their learning is the only purpose for your learning skill the Holy Spirit sees in all the world. His simple lessons in forgiveness have a power mightier than yours, because they call from God, and from yourself to you. Paragraph 6. Is this a little voice, so small and still it cannot rise above the senseless noise of sounds that have no meaning? God willed not his Son forget him. God willed not his Son forget him. Therefore he gave you the Holy Spirit to take all the learning that you learned to be separate from God and have a will apart from God, to now use your learning to practice forgiveness and be restored to the oneness that you never left. And the power of his will is in the voice that speaks for him. The power of God's will is in the Holy Spirit's voice that speaks for him in your dream. Which lessons will you learn? What outcome is inevitable, sure as God and far beyond all doubt and question? Can it be your little learning, strange in outcome and incredible in difficulty, will withstand the simple lessons being taught to you in every moment of each day, since time began and learning had been made? There's another voice in everything that speaks to you that we can hear. Paragraph 7. The lessons to be learned are only two. Okay, there's only two lessons that we can learn. Each has its outcome in a different world, and each world follows surely from its source. The certain outcome of the lesson that God's Son is guilty is the world you see. It is a world of terror and despair, nor is there hope of happiness in it. There is no plan for safety you can make that ever will succeed. There is no joy that you can seek for here and hope to find. Yet this is not the only outcome which your learning can produce. However much you may have overlearned your chosen task, the lesson that reflects the love of God is stronger still, and you will learn God's Son is innocent and see another world. Wow. So one world is that God's Son is guilty, and that's using the ego as your guide. The thought that you're separate from God. The other idea is that you're one with God, and that your brother's not guilty because he's also one with God, and that you're all one with love, and that guilt is no more than a dream of despair that's made the world you seek. But we can be free from that world. Let's read one more paragraph, and then we'll pick up tomorrow in the middle of this first section. The outcome of the lesson that God's Son is guiltless is a world in which there is no fear, and everything is lit with hope and sparkles with a gentle friendliness. Nothing but calls to you in soft appeal to be your friend, and let it join with you. And never does a call remain unheard, misunderstood, nor left unanswered in the self-same tongue in which the call was made. In other words, whatever voice you ask for help in is the way you'll hear it. In other words, it won't be a foreign language to you. You'll be in the terms that you'll understand. And you will understand it was this call that everyone and everything within the world has always made, but you had not perceived it as it was. And now you see you were mistaken. You had been deceived by forms the call was hidden in, all the forms of the idol, and you believed them. Now we're realizing that appearances can't take us from our joy, because love is real, and that we can use that love to bridge the gap that we thought was between us and our brother. And so you did not hear it. Let's back up. You had been deceived by forms the call was hidden in, and so you did not hear it, and had lost a friend who always wanted to be part of you. The soft eternal calling of each part of God's creation to the whole is heard throughout the world. The second lesson brings. Wow. Okay, well, let's go back and close with our song. Well, hold on, before we do, let's see what's going on around the world. Out of holidays and observances, it's Bathtub Day, Blue Shirt Day, Blue Shirt Day, which is World Day of Bullying Prevention, Child Health Day, Day of Unity, LED Light Day. Boy, we're learning that's the way to see ourselves unified. That brings us light, maybe not LED light. Consignment Day, Flower Day. Look at the little Helioanthus tuberosum flower. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. Forgiveness Day. Forgiveness Day, that's Course in Miracles Day, huh? We're learning to practice forgiveness. What is forgiveness? It's letting go of, realizing that you're dreaming that you're separate from your brother, and that you can dream a new dream. Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. Frappe Day, Inner Beauty Day. Well, that'll sure bring the inner beauty out when you practice forgiveness. Personal Safety Day, keep you safe too. U.S. Supreme Court Opening Day, Team Margot Stem Cell and Bone Marrow Registration Day, You Matter to Me Day. We're going to see that everyone matters to us because they're all part of us. Can't know yourself unless you know your brother. World Day of Architecture and World Habitat Day. Wow. And then Sunchokes, or Jerusalem artichokes, are what this little plant is. Usually they're real tall. This one got pushed over, and it was down here low enough that I could actually have it in the recording. When they're up real high, it's hard for me to have me and them. But it says in the Gurneys about the Jerusalem artichoke, a low-carb potato alternative, sweet and nuttier flavored than any potato, with far fewer calories, only 7 per 100 gram serving. Also a good source of calcium, plus a vitamin C boost. Also has inulin, which is a really good, I think it's kind of like a fiber that it's known as a probiotic, something that, no, not a probiotic, a prebiotic, something that the bacteria in the gut can live on well. Anyway, it's got a lot of good things to help balance blood sugar and stuff, inulin. It has vitamin C. The crisp, knobby tubers thrive almost anywhere, leading to plants that can be as tall as a person and studded with cherry sunflower-like blooms. Dig up after light frost for sweeter flavor. Peel and slice fresh tubers and serve with vinegar, salt, and pepper, or boil, puree, or mash. They're a perennial, harvest fall to spring, and stores for months. And I'll say they store best if you just leave them in the ground till you want them in the winter, at least here in the Ozarks. Now, if you were in an area where it was stayed pretty frozen all year, you may not want to do that. Our word for peace is out of the Veps, or the Vepsa language of Finland, and it's Venosti. So Venosti be with you. And be sure to do your quiet time, morning and evening. And every hour of the day, bring this idea to your mind. And ask God for guidance as you give Him thanks. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Father, your Son is perfect. Father, your Son is perfect. When I think that I am hurt in any way, it is because I have forgotten who I am. If I am hurt in any way, it is because I have forgotten who I am. And that I am as you created me, as you created me. Your thoughts can only bring me happiness, bring me happiness. God's thoughts can bring me only happiness, only happiness. If ever I am sad or hurt or ill, I have forgotten what I think. If ever I am sad or hurt or ill, I have forgotten what you think. If ever I am sad or hurt or ill, I have forgotten what you think. And put my little meaningless ideas in place of where your thoughts belong. Where your thoughts belong and where they are and where they are. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts, nothing but my thoughts. The thoughts I think with you can only bless. The thoughts I think with you alone are true. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. My Father placed me safe in heaven, watching over me. My Father placed me safe in heaven, watching over me. And I would not attack his son, attack the son he loves. And I would not attack the son he loves. For what he loves is also mine to love. And I would not attack the son he loves. For what he loves is also mine to love. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. So let's let go of those thoughts that hurt and let the thoughts that are naturally ours join up with us. The thoughts of God, thoughts of love, the thoughts of peace, the thoughts of joy. And let your peace and joy be your guide today. As you tell yourself, I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. And our word out of the Vepsa language of Finland is for peace is Venosti. So Venosti be with you. And thank you so much for joining me today. In front of this one little flower on World Flower Day, the Helianthus tuberosum, Jerusalem artichoke. And they do take pretty rich soil, I find. So lots of compost and moisture. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. Venosti.